안녕하세요 여러분, 저는 린지라는 독일 사람입니다. 반갑습니다. In today's video, I will actually talk about expressions or phrases in Korean that don't mean what you initially might think they do. So I will be talking about expressions you cannot translate literally at all times because they have a different meaning, a kind of hidden meaning. I think it's always important to consider the cultural background and the situations certain things are said in. So when I learned about these words or phrases, I was really excited because I thought it was extremely interesting, and I hope you feel the same way. So the first expression we will be looking at is the phrase 밥 먹었어? So 밥 is the word for meal or rice, and 먹다 means to eat. If they ask this question, they usually use the past tense. So 먹었어 or 먹었어요. If you translate this literally, it means did you eat? Did you already have a meal? There's also something else implied in this question. They actually want to know how you're doing, what you're up to, if you're doing good. So the same actually goes for the expression 다음에 한번 밥 먹자. 다음에 한번 같이 밥을 먹자. The Korean person thinks you have a relationship where you could eat together, but it doesn't mean that they actually want, to meet up again and arrange a meeting where you can eat. What they actually want to say is more like, it was nice meeting you. Let's meet again sometime. So the second example or situation I want to introduce to you is a situation where you use the phrase 생각이 없어요. 생각이 없다. If you translate this one literally, it means I have no thoughts. I don't have any thought right now. This expression can also be used if you want to express that you don't have appetite, so you don't want to eat anything. Imagine you had a big fight with someone, for example your sister, and then your mom comes up to you and says, do you want to eat? And then you say, 생각이 없어요. So I don't have appetite at the moment, I don't want to eat right now. 생각이 없어요 can mean both. It can mean that you have no thought, but in a situation where you don't want to eat, you can also say 생각이 없어요. I don't have appetite. And you might have seen this expression in Korean dramas. So next up is basically 우리 plus some kind of noun. For example, 우리 어머니, 우리 아버지. So mother and father. Let's go with 우리 어머니. 우리 어머니. So 우리 stands for we or our. That's the literal translation. But if you connect this 우리 with 어머니, which means mother or mom, then you would think it means our mother, but it doesn't, at least not always. Sometimes, although you might not even have any siblings, Koreans say 우리 어머니 and mean my mother. I think that it's really interesting because they think about community a lot. The value of community is often expressed through the language, and you can see this in this expression. So just don't get confused if Koreans use the word we or 우리 when they actually mean my. So the fourth expression I will be talking about is a very famous one, and it's an expression that many K-pop fans and K-drama viewers already know. It's the expression 보고 싶다 or 보고 싶어요. Most of you Korean drama watchers will know that this means I miss you. But as I already explained in the video where I translated the lyrics of 방탄소년단's, so BTS's Spring Day, so you can click on the video in the corner if you want to watch it. This is not the literal translation of the expression. The literal translation is I want to see. I wish to see. That's what it says. Nothing more, nothing less. Because 보다 is the word for see, to see, and 보고 싶다 is a grammatical ending they add to the stem of a word to express a wish. 보 is the stem of 보다, and 보고 싶다 is the grammatical ending of wishing to do something. So you wish to see. That's it. And why does it get this meaning of missing someone or something? This is really fascinating to me. And I guess most of you didn't think about it yet, because I didn't think about it that way in the beginning either. The last expression or words, it's actually 2 words, I will be introducing to you are the words for yes and no, which many of you Korean learners will already know. It's 네 and 아니요. 네 and 아니요. You might wonder what's so different about the meaning of yes and no, what kind of hidden meaning is supposed to be there. But I realized that Koreans use yes and no differently if they answer to a negative question. As long as there's no negation in the sentence, in the question, it's not a problem. It's the same as we are used to answer to these questions with yes and no. But if there's a negative, for example, don't or not, then you have to answer the question differently than you're used to. Because in Germany at least, and in many English-speaking countries, you answer the question and think about whether the certain thing applies to you or not. I'll give you an example. You've been lazy the whole day and your mother wanted you to clean the house a bit, and you didn't do anything. You've been lazy the whole day, and then your mom comes home and asks you, didn't you wash the dishes? So because of the didn't, it is a negative question. You would think, well, I didn't do the dishes, so no, I didn't do the dishes. But in Korea, it's not about what I did or what applies to me. It's about the correctness of the question, whether you are agreeing with it or not agreeing with it. So in a case of a Korean household, when the mother asks, didn't you wash the dishes? You'd have to say, yes, I agree with that. What you said, it's right what you said. Yes, I didn't do the dishes. And this might sound extremely complicated and irritating at first, but you will get used to it. Try to remember, yes and no in Korean is not about whether something applies to you or not. It's about whether you agree with the statement that's been made in the question. So you didn't wash the dishes and your mother asked, didn't you wash the dishes? And you have to agree on that because the statement is true. Didn't you wash the dishes? Yes, I didn't wash the dishes. And it can lead to many, many misunderstandings, especially if you just answer with yes or no and don't finish up the sentence after that. Just think about whether you're agreeing with the statement that has been made or not. That's just what you have to think about. The Korean version would be 설거지를 안 했어? And the child would answer in Korea, 네, 설거지를 안 했어요. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. See you in the next video. Bye!